Welcome to Ikigai, the art of living fully. In this audiobook, you'll discover how purpose, mindful habits, and meaningful connections shape not just a long life, but a life full of joy and meaning. We'll explore the practices of Okinawa's longest living people, how they eat mindfully, move gently, embrace imperfection, and nurture strong social bonds. Throughout this journey, you'll learn how to find your own Ikigai, turning everyday actions into moments of fulfillment, resilience, and connection. By the end, you'll see that longevity isn't just about adding years to life. It's about adding life to every year. Section 1. Embracing Purpose. Life is most fulfilling when guided by purpose, the quiet force the Japanese call Ikigai. This is not ambition in the conventional sense, nor is it a fleeting interest or hobby. Purpose is the steady, underlying reason to rise each morning, the invisible compass that transforms ordinary tasks into meaningful acts and mundane routines into rituals of engagement. Across all we have explored in this journey, from mindful diet to gentle movement, from resilience to community, the unifying thread that gives longevity its richness is purpose. Without purpose, life risks drifting through days as if caught in a current, aimless and detached. With purpose, even the smallest action resonates, and the smallest moments feel alive with meaning. Purpose need not be grand or monumental. It can be as simple as tending a garden, preparing meals for family, caring for loved ones, teaching, mentoring, or sharing a skill that improves the life of another. What matters is alignment, doing what you love, what you are skilled at, what the world needs, and what sustains you. When these four elements intersect, they create a deep, enduring sense of fulfillment that cannot be taken away by age, circumstance, or hardship. This is the essence of Ikigai, the convergence of passion, mission, vocation, and profession into a life that feels coherent and alive. The elders of Okinawa provide living proof of this principle. They wake each day with small routines that connect them to the world and to their own sense of meaning. A morning walk is not merely a form of exercise. It is a ritual of connection with nature, an opportunity to breathe deeply and attune to the rhythms of life. A shared meal is not only nourishment, it is an act of gratitude and social engagement. Even simple hobbies, knitting, fishing, tending a bonsai, are embraced with mindfulness, transforming ordinary time into a practice of purpose and joy. These daily rituals, repeated over decades, compound into a life that is not only long, but meaningful. Psychological research underscores the power of purpose. Studies consistently show that individuals who maintain a clear sense of purpose experience lower rates of chronic illness, better cognitive function, and greater emotional resilience. They recover more quickly from setbacks and experience higher overall life satisfaction. Purpose acts as a kind of internal compass, guiding decisions, shaping habits, and helping individuals navigate uncertainty with confidence. It gives context to every action, making even challenges worthwhile and setbacks meaningful. Purpose is both deeply personal and inherently relational. It is found in the intersection between one's own passions and talents and the needs of the community. Caring for others, contributing to shared well-being, and engaging in service imbues life with depth and significance. This dual focus on self and community ensures that purpose is never static or hollow. It is active, evolving, and deeply interwoven with the lives of others. A teacher inspires students, but is also inspired in return. A gardener tends plants, but finds renewal in their growth. A grandmother supports her family, yet gains daily joy and a sense of legacy. Purpose is an ongoing dialogue between our actions and the world around us. The journey toward Ikigai is not always straightforward. It requires reflection, patience, and experimentation. Sometimes we must try many things before discovering what aligns fully with our passions, skills, and values. We must learn to distinguish fleeting pleasure from lasting fulfillment and to cultivate practices that reinforce meaning rather than merely offering temporary satisfaction. The process itself, discovery, adjustment, and realignment, is part of the richness of life. Living with purpose transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Each day becomes a canvas on which we can paint small acts of intention, kindness, and engagement. Even routine tasks gain significance when approached with mindfulness and care. Purpose anchors us in life, giving clarity to choices, motivation for action, and a framework for resilience when challenges arise. It reminds us that longevity is not merely measured in years, but in the depth, engagement, and meaning contained in those years. Ultimately, Ikigai teaches that life is to be lived awake, with awareness and intention. It is the commitment to rise each day with curiosity, to seek joy in small moments, to contribute to the well-being of others, and to nurture both body and spirit. When purpose guides our actions, life becomes coherent, connected, and deeply satisfying. Longevity is not simply an accumulation of time. It is the cultivation of a life that is fully alive, where each moment resonates with meaning, and every action reflects the essence of who we are and why we exist. Section 2, Nourishing Body and Mind Health is more than the absence of illness. It is the foundation of vitality, clarity, and joy. Longevity is built not through extremes, fads, or rigid routines, but through consistent, balanced practices that honor both the body and the mind. The elders of Okinawa exemplify this principle. Their habits are simple, yet profoundly effective. Meals eaten with mindfulness, gentle movement woven into daily life, sufficient rest, and practices that cultivate emotional and mental well-being. These are not rigid prescriptions. They are a way of life, repeated over decades, forming a rhythm that nurtures both strength and serenity. Eating with intention is central to this approach. The Okinawan principle of harahachi-bu, eating until 80% full, exemplifies moderation. Meals are composed of fresh, seasonal, predominantly plant-based ingredients, often harvested from home gardens or local markets. Each meal is an opportunity not only to nourish the body, but also to practice gratitude, to connect with the natural world, and to share a moment with family or friends. Food becomes a ritual, a deliberate act of care, a small meditation in daily life. By savoring flavors, textures, and aromas, elders slow down, honor their bodies, and strengthen the connection between mind and body. Movement is another cornerstone of vitality. Longevity is rarely achieved through strenuous or sporadic exercise. Instead, it is cultivated through gentle, consistent activity, integrated into everyday routines. Walking, gardening, stretching, light strength exercises, and purposeful household tasks maintain muscle tone, flexibility, and balance. The elders moved not out of obligation, but as a natural expression of living, finding joy in action, in rhythm and routine. Even small motions, repeated daily, compound over years into lasting physical resilience. Movement also supports mental clarity, reducing stress, improving circulation, and enhancing the ability to respond to challenges with calm and focus. Mental and emotional health are inseparable from physical well-being. Practices of mindfulness, presence, and gratitude reduce stress, sharpen attention, and strengthen resilience. Taking time to pause, breathe, and observe the present moment, whether watching the sunrise, listening to birdsong, or tending a garden, anchors the mind in calm and balance. These seemingly small acts, repeated over a lifetime, create a cumulative effect, fortifying both emotional stability and physical health. Stress, when managed and mitigated, does not accumulate into disease. Instead, resilience grows, the immune system strengthens, and energy is preserved for meaningful action. Sleep and rest are equally vital. The elders recognize the importance of honoring the body's natural rhythms, going to bed and waking with the light, resting when fatigued, and allowing the body periods of recovery. This approach contrasts sharply with modern lifestyles dominated by artificial schedules and constant stimulation. By listening to the body and responding to its signals, they reduce chronic strain, maintain cognitive function, and sustain long-term vitality. Nutrition and movement alone, however, are not sufficient. Emotional well-being must be cultivated alongside physical care. Gratitude, perspective, and connection nurture mental resilience. By focusing on the small blessings of life, a shared laugh, the warmth of the sun, the beauty of a simple meal, emotional reserves are replenished, and life feels more abundant and meaningful. Mind and body, then, are mutually supportive. Physical health enables mental clarity, while mental calm preserves and strengthens physical vitality. In Okinawa, the interplay of body and mind is evident in everyday life. Elders move gracefully, eat mindfully, rest appropriately, and maintain a calm, observant presence. Their practices are not performed in isolation. They are embedded in the fabric of social and natural life. Walking to meet a friend, tending a communal garden, sharing a meal with neighbors, these actions nourish both body and spirit, reinforcing purpose, joy, and connection. Ultimately, longevity is the product of small, intentional choices compounded over decades. Eating thoughtfully, moving consistently, resting adequately, and cultivating mental calm create a foundation upon which purpose, resilience, and meaningful connection can flourish. Health is not a goal in itself, but a vehicle for fully living. When we care for our bodies and minds in tandem, every day becomes an opportunity to experience life with vitality, presence, and joy, and to continue growing, learning, and contributing long into our later years. Section 3, Resilience and Connection. Life is unpredictable. Challenges, setbacks, and change are inevitable. Longevity is not the absence of adversity, but the capacity to endure, adapt, and grow through it. This capacity, resilience, is quietly cultivated in those who live long, fulfilling lives. In Okinawa, elders embody this principle, showing that strength is not rigidity, but flexibility. It is not the absence of difficulty, but the ability to meet it with grace and composure. Resilience is an ongoing practice, nurtured through perspective, presence, and social connection. The philosophy of wabi-sabi provides a lens for understanding resilience. Wabi-sabi teaches that imperfection is not a flaw, but a natural, beautiful part of life. Wrinkles, scars, cracks, and faded memories are all markers of experience and survival. By embracing imperfection, we relieve ourselves of the impossible burden of seeking constant perfection. In doing so, we develop patience with ourselves and others, and cultivate the capacity to move through challenges without being overwhelmed. Hardship is not erased, it is reframed. A difficulty becomes a teacher, a misstep becomes a guide, and a period of struggle becomes an opportunity for growth. Perspective plays a central role. Those who live long lives view obstacles as temporary and manageable, rather than insurmountable. They focus on what remains rather than what is lost, emphasizing what can be done in the present rather than lamenting the past. This outlook reduces stress, protects emotional health, and strengthens the body's ability to endure. Scientific research confirms that positive cognitive framing, seeing challenges as opportunities or temporary situations, improves both mental and physical resilience, reduces chronic stress, and even supports longevity. Connection amplifies resilience. Humans are social beings, and the bonds we cultivate with family, friends, and community serve as both anchor and shield. Okinawans exemplify this through the moai, small lifelong social groups that provide companionship, mutual support, and shared purpose. These groups offer assistance in times of need, celebrate joys together, and reinforce a sense of belonging. Shared burdens feel lighter, challenges become more manageable, and life feels richer. Longevity is enhanced not only by the care we give ourselves, but by the relationships we nurture and the love we receive. Resilient individuals also practice empathy and kindness. They recognize that everyone faces struggles, often unseen, and they respond with patience rather than judgment. Forgiveness is a crucial part of resilience. Releasing grudges and resentment frees emotional energy and preserves peace of mind. The elder's ability to let go of negative attachments allows them to remain open, flexible, and engaged, even in the face of adversity. Their emotional flexibility complements physical resilience, reinforcing the mind-body connection that underpins long life. Purpose and connection intersect here. Acts of service, contribution to the community, and caregiving create both meaning and resilience. When elders care for others, whether through mentoring, family support, or communal work, they strengthen their own Ikigai. This integration of personal fulfillment and social responsibility reinforces mental fortitude, emotional balance, and physical vitality. Resilience is thus not a solitary achievement, but a social and relational one. Finally, resilience is cultivated over time through routine practices, reflection, and small choices. Simple habits, walking daily, engaging with friends, maintaining gratitude, observing natural rhythms, compound into an enduring capacity to navigate life's uncertainties. These practices foster a calm, steady mind, capable of responding rather than reacting, of enduring rather than resisting, and of embracing change rather than fearing it. By combining flexibility, perspective, and connection, we see that resilience is not a fleeting trait, but a lifelong skill, nurtured by both inner work and external relationships. The elders of Okinawa remind us that to live fully is not only to cultivate strength in the body, but to cultivate grace in the heart. Through resilience and connection, we can navigate the storms of life with composure, find meaning in difficulty, and continue to grow, love, and thrive for decades to come. Section 4. The art of living all the threads we have explored. Purpose, nourishing body and mind, resilience and connection come together in the ultimate practice, the art of living. Longevity is not merely a measure of years, nor is it solely the product of diet, movement, or habits. True longevity is the capacity to live fully, to embrace life with awareness, and to experience each moment with presence, gratitude, and joy. The art of living is the synthesis of all these elements, woven into daily life with intention and grace. To live fully is to embrace impermanence and imperfection. Wabi-sabi teaches that beauty exists in the fleeting, the worn, and the incomplete. Every wrinkle, scar, or faded memory tells a story of survival, growth, and resilience. By recognizing the beauty in imperfection, we release the impossible burden of perfection and allow life to unfold naturally. Aging is not a decline, but a process rich with wisdom and experience. Challenges are not obstacles to happiness, but opportunities to deepen understanding, compassion, and perspective. Life becomes an evolving canvas, where even moments of struggle add depth and texture. Presence is central to this practice. Fully inhabiting each moment transforms ordinary experiences into meaningful ones. A walk at sunrise, a shared meal, tending a garden, or listening to a friend's story becomes an act of engagement, not just a routine. Mindful awareness deepens our connection to the world and strengthens our capacity to find joy and meaning in everyday life. Gratitude amplifies this effect, encouraging us to notice and cherish the small blessings that are often overlooked. This combination of presence and gratitude nurtures both mental and emotional well-being, reinforcing the foundation for a long and fulfilling life. Self-compassion and empathy are equally vital. Treating ourselves kindly, forgiving our own mistakes, and honoring our limitations allows inner peace to grow. Extending the same compassion to others fosters connection and mutual support. Relationships, family, friends, community, are the vessels through which purpose and resilience flow. Social bonds provide joy, stability, and meaning, reminding us that life's richness is shared, not solitary. Acts of care, service, and love reinforce our own sense of purpose and deepen the interconnectedness that gives life meaning. The art of living also requires a harmonious balance between effort and acceptance. We strive to maintain health, nurture relationships, and pursue meaningful work. Yet we also accept life's uncertainties, our own imperfections, and the inevitability of change. This balance prevents stress, cultivates resilience, and allows us to enjoy the journey rather than only focusing on goals or outcomes. Living gracefully is not about controlling every circumstance, but about flowing with life, responding rather than reacting, and embracing each day as it comes. Ultimately, the art of living is a lifelong practice, developed not in extraordinary moments, but through daily choices. It is nurtured by aligning with purpose, caring for body and mind, cultivating resilience, and sustaining meaningful connections. When these elements converge, life becomes not only longer, but richer, more vibrant, and profoundly fulfilling. Longevity, then, is not merely an extension of time. It is the enrichment of experience, the deepening of joy, in the cultivation of a life imbued with meaning. To embrace the art of living is to recognize that life is a gift to be engaged fully. Each moment carries the potential for growth, love, and connection. Each challenge offers an opportunity for learning and resilience. Each interaction provides a chance to express compassion and gratitude. By integrating purpose, health, resilience, and connection into our daily practice, we discover the ultimate truth of Ikigai, that living well is not only about adding years to life, but about adding life to years, and that the fullness of a life is measured not in its length alone, but in the depth, beauty, and presence with which it is lived. That wraps up Ikigai, the art of living fully. We've explored how purpose, mindful eating, gentle movement, resilience, and meaningful connections come together to create not just a long life, but a deeply fulfilling one. By embracing small, intentional habits and living with awareness, we can transform ordinary moments into lasting joy and meaning. The wisdom of Ikigai teaches us that longevity is not measured only in years, but in the richness of each day, the strength of our relationships, and the depth of our engagement with life. May these principles guide you to live fully, love deeply, and find your own reason for being, your unique Ikigai.